Yeah? So, how many people, okay, Heinz baked beans tin, what colour is it? Right. If I came in today and gave you a red Heinz baked bean, what would you think? You'd think what? It's fake. Right. Right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, and there's been studies that have been shown that through the educational system and just society at large, many of us have been conditioned in ways that we don't even realize. So when we're actually, I'll give you an example. It says that 50% of our mindset, our preconditioned thinking, i.e. the way that we look at life, our beliefs, our values, our ideas of how the world is, 50% of that is set by the age of 5. By the time we're 17, it's like 85%. So here's the thing. You're going around responding and acting and interacting with people thinking that you are making your thoughts for yourself, not realizing that predominantly they are preconditioned. So you're actually just reacting. You're not even thinking through. It's like probably 5%. So if you're going to say that you're going to do it yourself, but your thoughts are preconditioned, can you see the dilemma? Until you fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, then you get to a point where I just got to try something new. So this is where, you know, our work comes in, because I've had to say, what is it that has really helped where our young people are concerned? And it's really about the mindset. You know, there's a mindset for success. Did you know that? Well, if you'd have said that 20 years ago, people would have looked at you like, what's wrong with this guy? But there is a mindset. Anyone heard of T. Harv Eker? Okay. So, for those of you who got your phones, you might want to record some stuff, because like I said, I'm giving you some nuggets this evening that can potentially, sorry, I did tell you about my phone, that can potentially take you on a journey of self-discovery. See, I'm not interested in transactional activities. I'm interested in things that will be transformational. How many people would like to transform their life? That's what I'm talking about. So, T. Harv Eker, multi-millionaire, and he says he can speak with you for 5 minutes, and within 5 minutes he can determine the mental state as to how much money you got, whether you're rich, broke, or just don't even factor. How can that happen? Sorry, but we're being real, right? Okay. So, it's about the mindset, and we're in a new time. And the reason why we're here today is I wanted to be a part of, and I wanted to continue that journey of investing in young people. That's what I do. That's what I've done for 20 years. And I took a little sabbatical for about 18 months, and I realized that, you know what, that's me. That's what I'm here to do. And so I'm going to continue. Don't matter if there's a whole room of people or there's a handful. But now I'm going to just do me. Is that all right? Okay, so just to show you some of the other things that we've done at Urban Voice, we ran a program called Music Plus, and so over a 3-year program, we had something like £500,000 funding. And remember, this is from starting with nothing, yeah? £500,000 program. I think over the 10 years, Urban Voice has probably turned over something like £1.5 million without wanting to, but just helping young people. So remember, the kind of seeds I'm sowing here, that success is not about money. That's actually the last thing you think about. Money is the last thing that you should be thinking about. It's about what you want to do and what your purpose is. This young man, I put him up here because his name's A.C. Marshall. When he came onto our Music Plus program, he wanted to do music, so he thought. Within 3 months of completing the course, I then saw a little shine in him, and I said, look, let's roll. And so I mentored him for a little while. Within 6 months of finishing the mentoring program, this young man was the head of the youth parliament here in the UK. But it gets better than that. Within 6 months after that, he'd got scholarship to Harvard University, just because his mindset had changed. You can't hear what he said. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? What he did, because that's what it's about. Transformation. And till this day, this young man, he's back in his country, Zimbabwe, I believe, and he's in politics. He's in politics, fighting for young people's rights. How cool is that? Ain't that something? This is what I'm talking about. So, we then started a program called The Business. So I got love for everyone. My thing is young people, but we found ourselves as an organisation doing so well that we were approached to do a program called The Business. And The Business was for women who were trying to set up a business. I think it was something like a £250,000 program, and it was great. You know, we helped young people and women start business. Now these programs we were running 6-7 years ago. Interestingly enough, it's only in the last couple of years that, what's it called, a Start Learn scheme? Yeah, anyone heard of that? Yeah. Right, a couple of years ago. Like, you're late, I could have told you that. In fact, I did go to Boris and try and say to him 6 years ago, oh sorry, I know you're cool with Boris, but don't tell me. But I'm like, don't you see what our young people need? The point I've come to recognize is that we've got a choice. Are we going to wait for people to then say, okay, we're ready to do that now? Or are you going to take initiative and just do for you? And that's the question that each of us have to ask ourselves. So are we going to rely on the educational system as good as it is, or are we going to do for ourselves? And I remember when I started this Project Your Talent 6 years ago, I was approached by Southampton College. And I'm going to say it, I know it's filming, but I'm going to say it anyway. So they approached me, they saw what we were doing at Urban Voice and said, could you bring what you're doing into the educational system? I'm like, cool, because there were some things that I wanted to understand about the educational system. And it was a fantastic opportunity. I had the opportunity of engaging with a lot of employers, including the head of L'Oreal, the head of Aqua UK. And interestingly enough, the guy from Aqua UK said to me, and I'll never forget it, that he asked me a question. Well, first he thanked me for coming to see him, which I thought, wow, that's cool. But secondly, he said, if I had someone who had a degree, or someone who was just passionate about computers, which one do you think, Tony, I would take? I thought, well, degree, right? He said, nah. And that's when I realized that some of the stuff my mentor talked to me about, your passion. See, your passion, it reaches right into the depth of who you are. You're nodding because you understand what I'm saying. It's difficult to put in words, but basically, when you're doing your passion, you're not working. You're having a good time. So for 20 years, that's why I look so good. For 20 years, I've been having a good time. It's been a journey of self-discovery for me, and that's why I said at the start, I'm here for you, because I wouldn't change my 20 years for nothing. And my students have been my greatest teachers, but my children have also been my teachers. So 6 years ago, when I realized that the funding streams were being cut for voluntary organizations, I set up Our World, which is a not-for-profit organization. So no, Our World is our commercial division to support Urban Voice, because I was like, we need to find different ways that we can generate funds so we can do what we're doing. Lady over there is nodding like, you get me, you feel me? Now I'm sharing this with you so that you get the context of where we're coming from, so that you understand, because a lot of young people today do not trust adults. Yes? So I'm not trying to bore you, and it's not an ego trip, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I don't have any need for you to be here in that sense. I'm not trying to get from you. It's about sharing. So that's why I put it in context. So we set up Our World, and the purpose, the sole purpose, was to try and generate some money so that we can support the not-for-profit, because I saw these times coming. And well, this gentleman here is our sponsor. So I'd like you to give a round of applause for sponsors. He's going to come up in a minute. But before he does, I just want to, again, at the beginning of the year I did an experiment, because I know that you don't need money to make things happen. So at the beginning of the year, with no budget to do our program, our directors had said, you know, maybe it's time to shut up. And I was like, okay, let me see what we can do, and if nothing happens, then fine. So with no money, I set out to see what could be done. And then in January, so within 30 days, I met Sarah Lister. And she's just been incredible. I mean, yeah, just so much support and encouragement. It's just been amazing. But then I also met this gentleman, Simon Coulson, who's going to talk. Now, so Simon Coulson is a multi-millionaire. And he's got his own internet business school. I think he's made about £10 million over the last 10 years doing what he is passionate about. And he's going to tell you his story. So I went onto his course because I realized that we're living in a new time. And this is the thing I want for everyone here this evening to really get. It is a new day. As you heard when you came in and you heard Alicia saying, it truly is a new day. It's a new day and it's a new time for those who understand it. What do I mean? If you look at the Industrial Revolution that happened about 100 years ago or so, and my man's nodding because he knows exactly where I'm going. There's a book that I'd encourage you to read. It's called The Story of Success. And it's written by a guy called Malcolm Gladwell. And he shows you practically how, over a period of time, there was a certain window of opportunity where people born in a certain time were able to capitalize on the opportunities that the Industrial Revolution presented. Am I making sense? Okay. So, we're living in a similar kind of time. The internet has provided golden opportunities for people. However, here's the thing. The danger is, the Industrial Revolution was obvious. This is happening silently. So my passion at the beginning of the year was like, okay, when I went on Simon's course and I had the revelation and the experience, I was like, young people need to get this. They need to understand that actually it has never been as good a time to be on the planet as it is now. That's the truth. Forget what they're saying about, if young people can't do it. No. Get your mindset right. That success is waiting for every person who's ready to take action.